What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Casual Critic YouTube channel. I'm happy to have you here today. We're going to be talking about Jurassic World World Dominion that just came out this past weekend. Now, I feel like it's a very common opinion about these Jurassic World movies that they are actually trash. I mean, I looked at the Letterboxd ratings. I've also been watching the Jurassic Park movies this week in anticipation because I literally remembered nothing except Big Dinosaur from any of the movies. So I watched most of them this past week. I didn't watch Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, which is the movie right before this new one that came out. Didn't watch that one. I honestly just could not do it. Couldn't make myself do it. I fucking hate these movies. The first Jurassic Park is a classic. 100% agree. I love it. I think it's a great movie. It holds just like such charm about it, and like everyone's so mystified by the dinosaurs, and it's just great, and it's a great movie. I mean, it's rated like 4.1 I think out of 5 on Letterboxd. Everyone loves that movie, understandably so. Every single other movie is hard to fucking get through. The second one in the original trilogy has a decent rating. Honestly, didn't really care. I mean, whatever, it's fine. It's not the worst movie I've ever seen, but the other ones are literally some of the worst things I've ever seen in my entire life. And I don't know how we're still in 2022 making these movies. And I hope and pray to God that this is actually the end of some of the worst movies ever made in Hollywood. And I mean that with my whole heart. So this is going to be a non-spoiler review only because the movie is so new. I feel like most people are not going to care about spoilers on this movie. I don't feel like a lot of people are excited. The only real reason to get excited about this one is because the original cast is teaming up again, okay, for this hopefully final installment. But I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It's still not worth it. The original cast is still not worth it. But before we really get into the review, I just want to say this is a non-spoiler review, so if you haven't seen it and you plan to go watch it, then this video is safe. This is a safe place for me and for you. I'm not going to get too much into the premise about this movie. Basically, the very general premise is new Jurassic World cast that fucking sucks meets old Jurassic Park cast that doesn't shine in this movie, but we'll get into that. And there's dinosaurs and the world is ending, and that's pretty much all you need to know. My expectations going into this movie. Also, before we get further into this, I just want it to be known that I've not got any notes. I literally just came back from the theater and was like, oh, it's still daylight outside. Let's film a video. So if this is a little scattered, I do apologize, but I'm going to try to be as straight-lined as a gay person can be. So that was a terrible joke. My expectations going in were I was not excited at all. I was kind of, I hate to say it, but I was kind of dreading it just because, like I mentioned earlier, I've been watching, maybe I haven't mentioned this. I've recorded this 3 times. I've been watching the Jurassic Park movies because I don't remember anything except that there's dinosaurs, and that's literally all the information that I had. So I watched a bunch of the old Jurassic Park movies and the first Jurassic World. I did not watch the second one because I literally could not bring myself to do that. But they're terrible, and the more we make, the worse that they get. So I was very, very not excited to watch this hopefully last installment. I mean, there's always that like, ooh, the original cast, that's great. I feel like they did that on purpose just because they knew literally nobody would fucking come to this shit because everyone hates Jurassic World because it's bad. So they had to pull us in with something, and they got me. Laura Dern, you got me. Sam Neill, not so much. Jeff Goldblum, a little bit. Laura Dern is really what got me there. And I'll talk about my thoughts on her and her performance and everything like that in a second. But, yeah, expectations super low. Expectations were met, okay? I'll just say that. So let's talk about the actual review and what I thought of the movie. Usually I go by these categories, so I'm just going to do that now. The story. What is up with, like, the sequels? You know, like, aside from the first one, when I say that I hate these movies, I am not talking about the first Jurassic Park. I think it's great. I love it. But all the other ones, what is with the story? We're recycling the same thing, babe. We've seen it. We've seen it, okay? The dinosaurs look better in the new ones, but we've seen it all before, okay? No humans. Stop putting humans in between the dinosaurs. Somebody's gonna die, and we should know that by now. Quit doing it. The story, it's a lot. This movie does so much, and I have said this in the past, and I stand by it now. I would rather a movie try and do too much than not enough. And that's definitely the case, I feel like, with this latest Jurassic World movie. There's so much going on. There are so many different people, different events happening that they're trying to merge, and eventually they merge, and then everyone's doing the same thing, but it's just too much. It's too much, and I don't care. I don't care about these people, bro. I don't care about any of them except Laura Dern, and she's fine, so we're good. We're good. Was that a spoiler? I really don't care. I think we can all agree. I don't think anybody went into Jurassic World Dominion thinking that Laura Dern was gonna pass away. So that's not a spoiler. Anyway, yeah, it's too much. I feel like they knew it was gonna be bad because everyone thinks that they're bad. We all know this. So I think they just kind of threw up and was like, here you go. There you go. Have we done this storyline before? Yes, we have. But here's the original cast 50 years later. Not 50 years, but you know what I mean. Like, they just really did not put a lot of effort. Like, there were some elements of the story that I thought were way too much. You're doing too much. You need to sit down and calm down. And then there were other parts of the story that were, like, so fucking lazy. So fucking lazy as shit. And like things would happen and it's like, oh, that just happens like that? No, it's too easy. So I really don't understand what they were trying to do. And I didn't give a shit about the story the entire time. I really just wanted it to be over. I'm telling you, I fucking hated this movie. It's one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life. Okay? Now, going past the story, let's talk about the directing. Let's talk about the pacing, because I think the pacing has a lot to do with the directing and how they're doing it and how they're going about it. The pacing is fucking weird. It is so fast. It's a 2-hour. This is what I can't wrap my brain around, and this is what I was thinking the entire time I was watching it. This movie is like 2 hours and 20-ish minutes, I think, almost 2.5 hours long, and like the pacing is so fast. But I'm also so bored. And how do you do that? How do you do that? And also, the pacing was so fast. I kept saying, especially like towards the beginning, like in the first half of the movie, I was like, this is so fast paced, but the movie is so long. And that's not a good recipe, baby. That's not a good recipe. That's not what you need to be doing. Okay? We need to reel this in a little bit because it's really not coherent. It's not a coherent story. It doesn't flow well at all. At all. We're just jumping around. The directing, baby girl, I don't even know who directed this. Like I said, I don't have notes. Bad. What are you doing? It doesn't make any fucking sense. The action scenes are boring. I'm so bored. And it's dinosaurs and it's Jurassic Park / Jurassic World crossover. And I'm bored. The writing is trash, but I knew that going in. The writing is so awful in literally all of them except the first one. The writing is so icky and gross and just dumb and lazy. Y'all have a budget of $50,000 million billion trillion dollars for this dinosaur movie, and you can't put it in a little effort on the dialogue? What's the point, bro? Y'all know you need good dialogue in movie. Did you know? Apparently not. The category I think I have the most to say about is definitely the acting, because I'm so disappointed in everyone. I hate Chris Pratt. He's also barely in this movie. I feel like he's barely in it. I thought this was his thing. Apparently not. They really said the oldies are coming in. Make way, bitch. And that's fine because I hate him anyway. I just thought it was weird how he was really not in it that much. Bryce Dallas Howard, I love you. I can't wait to see what you do with Star Wars because you're directing a Star Wars project and I'm so happy for you. But girl, you gotta step it up. Also, you have to take into consideration the writing because it's so bad. But honestly, everyone's just bad. Like, they're just bad. And I don't get it. Maybe she just hates it. Maybe she hates being in it, which I would too because these are fucking awful. Jeff Goldblum, baby. Love you. Think you're really cool, but you're really not acting. Has he just given up on acting? Because he's recently been playing characters. Hang on, I'm looking at my time. He plays a lot of characters that are just like him, and I feel like this character in the original Jurassic Park does have similarities to him, just how he is as a person, but he's really not acting in this movie at all. And he's funny, but there's no acting, so I was confused because I thought he was an actor. Laura Dern. I think one of the most underrated actresses in Hollywood. Nobody talks about her. I think she's great. Not great in this, but I will give her a pass because this is fucking one of the worst movies ever made. Sam Neill. Never liked him. Don't really care. The guy that plays the CEO of the company, because we've already done this storyline before. The CEO of the company that's trying to destroy the world with genome technology. That was one of the worst things. His acting is one of the worst things. It's infuriating how bad it is. I wanted to punch him. I wanted to hit him hard. And also the girl that plays, she was a clone apparently in Fallen Kingdom, I guess. She's like a clone human. Bad. Terrible acting, worst I've ever seen. She needs to pack it up. I'm sorry, you're probably like 17 years old, and I'm sorry to ruin your dreams, kid, but you fucking suck. And I hate this movie, and I hate whoever made it, because I had to sit through 2 hours and 20 minutes of this bullshit dinosaur fucking movie. How do you mess up dinosaurs in a movie? I would rate it a 1.5 out of 5. That goes to the struggle that Laura Dern had to go through. And there were some cool action scenes that were like fun to look at for a couple seconds. And then I got bored. So if you've seen Jurassic World, World Dominion, which also is a terrible fucking name, if you've seen this movie, please let me know if you hated it as much as I did. And subscribe to this YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.